At this time, Councilman Saldana will lead us in an invocation, and Councilman Graham will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening, giving you thanks, Heavenly Father, for the opportunity to have life today. Father God, I thank you, Lord Father God, for the life that you gave us in the community that we have, for the opportunities that are opening up for this community, Lord Father God, to grow. Lord Father God, I thank you, Lord Father God, to give us the wisdom and the knowledge to be able to handle this particular items that we have in front of us this evening. Father God, that it will be beneficial to our community. Lord Father God, I thank you, Lord Father God, for all of us that are standing here this evening, Lord Father, that you see into our hearts. Heavenly Father, because our hearts are what you look at, Heavenly Father, and we stand here, Lord Father God, with an open heart to you, so that you know, Lord Father God, that what comes out of our heart and out of our mouth, Lord Father God, is the truth. Lord Father God, we give you the glory and the honor for all that you have done for us. In Jesus' holy name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, if you have your cell phone, please put them on silent. And we're going to open the floor for public comments. This is the time for residents to share with the council any comments, concerns, and or complaints that they may have. It is asked that each person limit their time to 3 minutes, as we do have several scheduled agenda items to attend to. And for the record, for record-keeping purposes, please step at the podium and state your name. And also remind you, as the elected board, we cannot respond to any of your comments, but we will take it under advisement. Or are there any public comments?
Greetings, Madam Mayor and council members. I wish you'd have a pause button on that for a while, or at least slow motion. My name is Sebastian Martinez, and I live at 1110 East 2nd Street. There are three basic things that I want to discuss, and that is the annexation and what it means to us. Also, the promotion of the visual image of Pecos, which is for hundreds of years been in the dumps. I've actually read some comments made by people on Facebook about Pecos. You might look into that. And last, of course, it will be about water. I read the article in the paper. Generally, first couple of sentences I read in this paper with the editor, I just kind of set it aside, but this time I read the whole thing. And I agreed with Smokey. This was basically a bureaucratic word salad. What you have been paying for, and quite a lot of money, was already in this. Every item that was discussed in that issue is right here. You have it. It tells you exactly what the staff needs to do and what the council needs to look at. Concerning the image of Pecos, it hasn't been a very positive one, because when you travel from east side going into town, if you drive on 2nd Street or 3rd Street, east of 285, it's a ghetto. It has been for decades, you know that. Pecos has always treated the east side as the black sheep of the town. The streets are not paved. There are no gutters. The fire hydrants aren't kept up to par. Even on Christmas, supposedly the humanity in your heart, we lack Christmas lights. They're on 80th Street, they're on 3rd Street, west, on 80th Street and on 285. You drive past east on 285, no lights. That's not a good image for this town.
Mr. Martinez, you're out of time.
Well, you didn't put it on pause, did you?
Mayor, can I make a motion
And-
to extend the public comment time to 3 minutes?
Thank you.
Parker?
Do you have a motion?
I think it's a city, it's charter ordinance, but that's where it's capped out. I don't know if that could be extended by motion.
You can contact our city secretary and be put on the agenda.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, sir.
Good evening, my name is Louise Moore, and I'm here tonight to thank you all for the support of the Housing Finance Corps. You can see all the improvements that are being made around the community. You guys have helped between 75 and 100 families improve their homes, and I'm here tonight I know that you're being raked over the coals and getting a lot of criticism, but you know, when you ran for office, you said you were going to take care of our community, and that's what you're doing. So I'm just here tonight to tell you thank you, thank you, thank you, and to keep up the good work.
Any other public comments?
My name's Larry Longoria. This is on a total different note. I've noticed in front of the post office, people are starting to parallel park. And it is, well, you can't park, because that means it takes up two or three cars and it's full. I wonder if we could get lines put in there so you can pull in like we normally do. That would help be graded on the east side and the north side. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Okay, we will close public comments. We'll go on to our consent agenda. Item E1, approve the minutes of the past city council meetings. This will be the February 12th, 2026 regular city council meeting and the February 17th, 2026 special city council meeting. Review the strategic goal plan report for January of 2026 and review the expenditure report.
On E2, are we going to discuss that on F8, or should we discuss it here? And I was confused. We got it 2 places. And, which would be best, Parker or Charles?
The one on F8, Councilman Graham addresses the service agreement that we have. This is just a monthly recap of what occurred in the month of January. So, I mean, it's up to you. You could push this to an item 8 if need be. And I don't think that's disallowed from that.
It's the same topics discussed both.
I would like to discuss in F8. I agree with the comments that I think are at that point where we need to take some action on this. So I read this and it's so general, and he was really big. I know when he came to talk to us the first time on measurable benefits. Well, I don't see any measurable benefits in this. And when I see measurable benefits, I'm talking about, well, we saved this much money, or this many employees and became more efficient and cut down the time spent in their jobs. You know, I just don't see any measurable benefits in this. So we'd like to talk about it in F8 also, and what we're going to go from here.
Anything else to discuss? Mayor, I make a motion to approve.
A second.
consent agenda.
We have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Graham to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. At this time, we're going to go to F2, discuss, consider an engagement letter from Forex Law Firm PC to serve as special counsel and provide general municipal law representation. Strategic Goal 5, promote open and consistent communication. Charles Leno.
See if he's ready.
Hey, good afternoon.
Okay.
Good evening.
Resin, Mayor and Council, Charles Leno, City Manager. I reached out for the request of council to get someone who has experience in, or additional experience in annexation, and we were able to find someone. His name is Resin Pullum. He's with Baroka's law firm, and I have Mr. Resin on the or Mr. Pullum on the phone. I can tell you that what we've done is we provided you all with an engagement agreement. It can be ongoing or however we need to. It's on a case basis. And I'm asking for your all approval so we can have the conversation on F1 about the annexations with Resin as an engaged attorney. So that's one of the reasons why we had to go with F2 first.
I did hear with Resin today,
Resin.
and I was impressed with him and on his talk when he was visiting on annexation. So it seems like it's a good firm, very good firm.
Are you through TML?
He is not, Mayor.
Let him know he's on mute.
No, he's not.
He's muted.
Resin, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we work with TML, though we are a private law firm. Just a little bit about ourselves. We do focus majority of our practice on municipal law. That's all that we do. That's all that I do. I work with cities of this size in population, some that are a bit bigger, and a lot that are smaller than the town of Pecos City. But we've been in business for going over 20 years. We're situated here in Austin, Texas, right in the capital of Texas. We're very involved with all of the legislative processes and keep our ears to the ground as far as changes. And we would love the opportunity to assist your current council and to assist the city attorney with the work that is given to us. And we're pretty much experts in the municipal world. We have a great team that all have specializations that can assist the city in their work. So that's just a short introduction on our firm. As Charles said, my name is Resin Pullum. I'm a senior associate attorney with the Borges Law Firm, and had the opportunity to meet with Charles, Councilman Graham, and some other of the city staff, some of the assistant city managers. And I think we had a pretty productive meeting, and I'm looking forward to getting to work and helping you guys answer some of those questions.
So I had a question on your areas of expertise. We're probably going to possibly, I know you work with municipal government, but we're going to have questions on annexation, questions on tax abatements, questions on oil and gas leases in the future. Do you have tentacles to reach out to different types of lawyers that could assist us answering some of those questions? I mean, just depending on our demographics here, we face different compared to Austin, but what other cities, surrounding cities in this area do you represent?
In that area, we do have quite a big presence in West Texas. We've represented Socorro as special counsel. We've done their redistricting. We've also done, let me see, we're in San Elizario. We're in, let's see, a couple other cities out there. We have actually have a team of attorneys that are situated kind of in both El Paso, and then I think we have one attorney also in Lubbock. El Paso is one of our larger clients that we've had the opportunity to represent as well. So we're kind of familiar with the area. Those are the ones that I could think of off of the top of my head, but there's quite a few out there. Let me try to refer to some here. I've got to.
You're good, don't worry about it. If we need legal representation, boots on the ground, you guys willing to come out here? Whenever we have some.
Yes, sir, certainly.
Okay.
Yes, we can make ourselves available in person. Me specifically, I'm in Austin, so virtually works really well, but with enough planning and, notice ahead of time, I don't mind traveling as well. But we do have attorneys that are closely situated to your town and could probably fill in or answer the questions just as good.
Anybody have any questions?
A couple of the other cities we've been able to represent, Town of Anna, represented Anthony, Big Lake, let's see, those are the ones that are coming to the top of my head, but there's quite a few out there. And with our managing partner growing up in the West Texas area, I think he has an affinity for that place as well. So.
Charles, Heather, what's y'all's impression?
I think, my recommendation to council is that we would engage them, at least on special projects like this, because I think they're going to give us the expertise that I know that you've been looking for, Councilman Graham and Councilman Carrasco, and I think it's a good support to the rest of council. As long as we have an engagement agreement in there, we can reach out on the special projects.
So what is the consideration that he's given us to look at in regards to this annexation? What is the advice?
Well, the reason we have to execute the engagement agreement before we can talk about the annexation piece of it.
Well, sometimes I like to drive the car before I buy it.
Yeah.
So I have two more questions. My other question was, how do you prioritize your workload and manage the demands, right? Depending on something like such as an annexation topic, that is something that we need to address. How do you manage that? Prioritize that for us as well? And how do you approach balancing the city's best interests over private entities?
Yeah, to answer your first question, I think we take a team approach. So the way that we set up our client intake is we assign up to 3 attorneys to a specific city. Each of those attorneys are available and able to be contacted, but there's a primary, a secondary, and a tertiary. And then along with those 3 attorneys, there's a legal assistant that is assigned to the city. So all correspondences between the city, we ask that it goes through that primary attorney and our legal assistant. In this case, I would likely be the primary attorney and have a secondary attorney with me assisting on, the day-to-day services. And what we utilize is something called a tracking sheet. So when we get your projects or your assignments, we input it into our tracking sheet that allows us to keep in alignment, what are the due dates, what the task is, certain updates and progress points within the task itself. And we set tentative deadlines, both internally and those that we share with you all, as far as when we expect to get certain projects and assignments back to you. I think we've, had a great reputation of being timely, consistent with our work product, and being able to give attention to each of the cities, the kind that they need. Obviously, if there's items that have a higher priority, we just ask that you give us that heads up and that proposed deadline or timeline so that we can meet it. And that's something that we're willing to shift around our duties to make sure we hit. Since I've been practicing, we haven't had any issues as far as untimeliness or missing critical deadlines for projects. I think our communication with both the city manager and the city secretary helps us also to keep in line those timelines and making sure that the projects are meeting those goals. And then your second question was regarding prioritizing the city over private entities. This is all that we do. You know, we don't work on necessarily the private side of things. I think where you see a lot of that is in land use area, where you have these private developers coming in, making all these requests and trying to get the city to dole out, you know, tons of sums of money to get something started that profits them. And in those situations, we've maintained our integrity on keeping the city first, make sure that they're getting the benefit of the deal, that it's always a win-win situation, and that we're not incurring any additional liability that would not be necessary for the city. I think our approach is always to make you guys the key decision makers, but to give you the options that are not only legal, but make sense for each given situation. So whether or not, you know, you make a deal is going to be ultimately up to you, but we provide those legal frameworks and bases to work within, as well as our, you know, general knowledge and suggestion on what may be the best path forward. But we try to give each of our clients options to make that decision. And with us historically only representing cities, we've just now got into representing counties a little bit more, but our main focus being on cities. I think we hold those values very dear to our heart. A win for the city is a win for us. And, you know, there aren't any issues or any situations where we end up taking or benefiting a private entity over the city. That's just not within our mission and what we set out to do. And I hope that answers the question, but if there's anything I missed the mark on or need to address further, I'd be happy to.
No, you answered it very well. I have nothing else.
Make a motion that we accept the engagement letter.
Got one more question. I'm kind of coming up with the mayor asked. Did we not reach out to TML?
We did. TML recommended these attorneys.
Okay.
Because we needed to get, they can give you advice, but they do not work for anybody. This is where I got the Barocas law firm.
Okay, good. Okay. A second.
Yeah, and we're a registered firm with TML. Whenever certain litigations or cases are referred to TML as a claim, we are on their list of one of the firms that work can go out to. So we have the ability to kind of see things from the beginning to the end, especially if it goes to litigation now, with us adding more to our litigation practice in the recent years.
Do you advise on tax abatements as well?
Tax abatements, I will not lie to you, that is not my specialty, but I know that there is somebody within our firm that has handled or come across those issues before. It's not an issue of new precedents. I think we do have somebody on our team that can help with that, and I'm perfectly fine with learning and getting up to speed on it as well. But I would say that right now, that's currently not a specialty of mine, but something that we could look into, especially with given the answer or the questions that you have about tax abatements. We wouldn't have an issue providing opinions and guidance on how to address those issues.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from Councilman Arona to approve the engagement letter from Barocas Law Firm PC. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. So now we'll go to item F1, discuss, consider ordinance 26-02-01, an ordinance adopting the proposed 2021 Area 1 and 2022 Areas 1, 2, and 3 extension of the city municipal boundaries by annexation. First reading, Strategic Goal 1, Sustainable Economic Development, Charles Leno.
Mayor and Council, Charles Leno, City Manager. This is an item that you all had asked that we come back after we got some information. It's one of the reasons why, and thank you for engaging the Bajorquez law firm so that we can have these conversations, you can get your questions answered. The one thing that we will be doing tonight that's going to be a little bit of a modification is we're adopting an ordinance on the proposed 2021 Area 1 and 2022 Area 1, as we discussed last time, because of the magnitude and scope of that. That will allow us to continue with the TERS continuity that we discussed last time. It would give us that availability and ability. I did have that discussion with Mr. Pullum this morning, and the other questions that did come out that were saying, well, can we exclude certain properties? It was confirmed this morning that Mr. Pullum had told us that we could. And so that is up for discussion tonight in the first reading. The one thing that we will have to do is, I would have to, before our second reading, is get our surveyor to get out there and give us a survey excluding those, so that what we're present to you and it goes in the final ordinance is everything that we asked for.
Is there a way that some of the people out there can kind of give us an idea of what needs to be excluded and what, you know?
That's up to council. I mean, yeah, mayor and council get to make that decision.
I'd like for them to have some input too on
So what we decided to keyhole, are we talking about the same area? You know, right there by 404 to 285, 2119.
I think we're going to have to be property specific on that, Councilman
Oh, okay.
Saldana. That's
Okay.
what we will be. It's not going to be excluded at all. It's not, yeah, and any area that we do not exclude is included. And we've already done all of the notification that we did to all of the taxpayers out there. So any area that you all deem is going to be excludable can be excluded. But that's a decision the council has to make. And Mr. Pullum, let me know if you have any insight on that too.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I've confirmed that is possible. You can exclude those properties that are currently within the annexation service plan, as it has been designated by the resolution you passed in 2019. The process that I would see is that I would, take a general kind of survey of the properties and property owners that would like to be excluded. And then once you have your surveyor go out there and prepare the meets and bounds for the properties that will still be included, they can know to, edge out this property here or there, depending on which ones the council ultimately decides to leave out of this annexation. Now, from a kind of future forward-looking perspective, if those property owners do in fact want to come into the city limits later, that will be under a consent annexation process, which would require them to give permission or to consent to the annexation there.
Okay.
So if we decided to annex what's orange, to keyhole it.
It's only a portion, like a couple properties. We have to have the purple and the orange
Right.
for the continuity of the TERS
Okay.
on the north side.
So that's why we have to do the,
That's why we're talking about 2021 Area 1 and 2022 Area 1.
So what's the difference in, where is area 1, 2, and 3?
2 and 3 are on the south side for
Okay, so we're not even
that.
going to talk about the south side?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
So in relation to that, there is a limit on the percentage of area that you can annex within a given year, including those areas on the south side of the city would put us over that limit. So the area that Mr. Lino was referring to on the northwest side, yes, perfect. It would be those orange areas you see there, and then the lightly shaded purple. And then based on my conversation from this morning, the property owners that might be looking to be excluded are within that lightly shaded purple area. And correct me if I'm wrong.
And I'm right, this has to be done by March the 11th, is that what we figured out? So if we don't decide tonight, we're going to have a special meeting before the next meeting. Correct?
Well, No, this is only first reading. And I
Okay.
think we have, our first meeting in March is
The 12th.
the 12th. We're still okay. That's what Wendy confirmed. We could have that first meeting without getting in trouble.
Kind of what he said, that we can go ahead and pass this first reading as is, but amend the second reading. Is that
Yeah,
right?
and that's what we've been, that's what council has told us we can do.
And that'll
This
give
first-
them the opportunity.
So what I would do in the vote for the passage of this, on this first reading, I would just, verbally state to exclude certain properties from the owners that have to be excluded.
To be
And then in
determined.
that second reading, we can actually specify on the exhibits those properties that have been excluded, and will still be within the right to make that annexation.
That's what I was worried about. Beating our deadline.
Well, I just gotta get this straight. Now make a motion that we approve the first reading with the exception and amendment on the second reading to exclude those property owners that are gonna be identified that will not be taken into the city.
I'll second.
And I might also suggest excluding the annexation area 2 and 3 of the 2022. So you don't go over the acres.
What do you say?
Okay, so I have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Saldana, to approve ordinance 26-02-01 to adopt the proposed 2021 Area 1 and 2022 Area 1 extension of the city municipal boundaries by annexation, excluding properties that will be ID'd this week, next week, whatever, before the next reading. All those,
Hold on, just one quick question. So, Mr. Longoria, the Dowleys, do they say, hey, I don't want to be in it? We identify their property?
That's exactly what we do.
They don't get brought in?
That's correct.
Okay, that to be clear.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
President, I appreciate you being
Yeah,
on.
just
Thank
wanted
you.
to- Yeah, thank you so much. And if I could, I just want to take the opportunity to thank you all for engaging our firm. We look forward to, fostering this relationship and being there for you guys whenever you do need us to assist. And, it's been a great introduction so far, and we hope to maintain that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will go on to item F3, discuss, consider reappointing or appointing 6 members to the Hotel Occupancy Tax Board, serve 2-year terms. Strategic Goal 6, Sound Governance and Fiscal Management, Griffin Moreland.
Mayor and Council, Griffin Moreland, Assistant to the City Manager. In your packets, you will see the 7 applications for the Hotel Occupancy Tax Board. You will remember at your prior meeting, you had tabled this item due to the lack of conflict of interest disclosures on 5 out of the 6 applications. All 6 of the prior applicants have since filled out their conflict of interest form, and we also received a 7th in the week after the meeting last time. To remind you, the 7 applicants are Bobby Basta, Ruth Holt, Amber Redden, Kenneth Russell, Hector Roman, Lupe Herrera, and the new applicant is Juanita Davila Mata. And then just a reminder, this will be discussed again later with requirements, but the requirements to serve on the HOP board are that you need to be a resident of Pecos for 1 year, you need to be registered to vote, and you can't serve on any other committee. However, council at your discretion can vote to waive that requirement. Any questions?
So, just really quickly, the new applicant that brought in, that applied just this week was an original applicant to the HOP board a few months ago. So I just want to clarify that she had previously had her name, Mrs. Mata, in consideration, and we tabled it, or for some reason we chose not to move forward. So I just want to clarify that she met the deadline and submitted all her required paperwork prior to the deadline. And I believe that that happened with Ms. Redden as well.
She had sent it in and then it didn't get.
Yeah, it was.
So do we need to exclude one on here?
So as it stands now, you have 6 positions to fill and 7 applicants. Everyone that's currently on the board reapplied, save for Mr. Martinez, who is one of the alternates. So you can choose to reappoint everyone. You can choose to appoint the new alternate, or excuse me, the 2 new applicants in place of one of the old ones. It's completely y'all's call.
So let's say if I wanted to exclude Amber Reddy and then appoint all the rest of them, I could do that.
You have that discretion.
But, so Kenneth Russell didn't sign his applications.
And I have a question also on one of the conflict of interest disclosure. Somebody disclosed that they do have a conflict of interest on their
Which one, Valerie?
Amber, Ms. Redden. It is shown that she does have a conflict of
There's a copy
interest.
of it.
There's a copy there.
Thank you.
No, I'm just wondering. She
Yeah, she'll
marked it
disclose some
wrong.
professional relationships and she'll recuse herself.
And she did. I mean, when it came to the film and all that, she did. She recused herself from all of those.
Just clarification.
Yes, and a conflict of interest is not necessarily disqualifying. It's just stated
Just for the record, I want to put that out there just so that there's no questions or misunderstanding or anything that,
Full transparency.
right.
I actually have this, let me see what line item it is, to discuss the F12. You had mentioned that applicants may only serve on one board. That's something we might want to get more clarification on in the future because it seems a little misleading to certain people. Some people that want, I know there's been times where there wasn't much participants or applications and then we kind of just went with that, but now, you know, it says that, did we just update this application, by the way? Because I see here it says all applicants must complete the conflict of interest disclosure. Was that just an update?
That was since then.
Okay.
The conflict of disclosure only applied to P&Z and the Board of Adjustments.
Okay,
So that has since been applied across all committees.
so that's something that, okay. So how do we vote on this? This is my first time voting when you have a group of 7 people.
You can nominate, put forth who you want.
So do we all pick one nomination each?
You'll as a group decide who you'd like to do.
Is that
And
something we
you
do?
would also, if you perhaps wanted to elevate Mr. Roman to a full member on the committee, then you do have that discretion. You just have to name that as well. And also choose who your alternates are going to be.
Is that something we do in exec?
No? Open.
Put it out, put it out.
So one of the alternates, Jeffrey Martinez doesn't want to be on it.
He did not choose to reapply. No, sir.
Interesting.
So if we appoint the ones that are there and then just add the new one to the alternate, we can do that.
There are 2 new applications. So if you chose to reappoint all of them, you choose one of the new applicants.
Oh, okay.
But that wrong.
Oh, there's 2 new ones?
There's 2 new ones. Ms. Ruth Holt and Ms. Juanita Davalanto.
Okay.
So you said that Roman, he's an alternate?
He is currently an alternate. You could choose to leave him so, or you could promote him to a full member.
Okay.
But then you'd have to bump one of them down to as an alternate.
Exactly. Assuming you chose to keep the rest. Yes.
And that point that Mr. Carrasco made a little bit ago, you know, with more people wanting to get involved in boards now, you know, at one time, I know a few years back, we used to have 1 or 2 individuals that were in 2 or 3 different boards that really now with everything that's happening in Pecos, we just can't, I would like to see one individual per board and different, and then, you know, as they come out and then somebody wants to come in, well, yeah, but to be in 2 boards, because on some of those boards, the important boards, or all of them are important because they all belong to Pecos. But what I'm saying is, some of these items that we discuss in the boards, like on a council, we don't want somebody else to be over there, and then when they go to their other board, they're asked questions about this and this and that, and that's how we keep things kind of before it made public.
So I think the best thing to do is just to read the names and we'll just put it out there. If you vote for that person, raise your hand. If not, you Nope.
No, because
I mean,
I think that'd be the more fairest thing to do.
All right. You want to
Okay,
run robin this?
let me make a list.
Because that seems fair.
Okay. Anybody, everybody, for Ruth? 1, 2.
Who's,
Ruth Holt.
Ruth Holt. Yes. I can't see Conrad.
No.
No. Ruth Holt. She's got 4. Amber. 1. Juanita. 1.
2,
2, 3. Can't see Conrad again. 4. Lupe Herrera. 3. Bobby Vodka. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's unanimous. Hector Ramon.
To fill the alternate to move
Yeah.
up.
Kenneth Russell. 1, 2. Okay, so Bobby Vodka got the most votes. Juanita Davila got 4 votes. Ruth Holt got 4 votes. Lupe Herrera got 3 votes. Hector and Kenneth got 2 votes apiece. And Amber got 1.
All right.
So that
Then,
makes it Ruth, Juanita, Lupe, Bobby, Hector, and Kenneth.
okay. And did we say if we're going to move Hector up to a full spot, or is it going to be still alternate?
Well, with him being an alternate, you have enough already?
So that, since Amber got the least amount of votes, that moves him up. That means Ruth and Juanita are now alternates. So,
And move Hector up as a permanent board member.
so if you want to make a motion to that effect, you mentioned that you're going to move Hector up, and then that you will name Ruth and Juanita as alternates, and additionally waive the 2 committee requirement for Juanita.
I would like to actually move Juanita and Ruth, some new blood to the top.
yeah.
That's what we need to
Like
do.
for them to be alternates. I think
They don't,
should
I want them to be alternates.
Board discretion.
Yeah, no alternates.
No alternates.
Full
Members.
full board? Okay.
I thought they were voted in as full board.
So I need a motion.
Okay, wait a minute, clarification.
Yeah.
Okay, those 2, Ruth and Juanita, they were voted and got 4 votes. So are they going to be on the regular board? No alternate?
So you're saying no alternates up for this board, just have them all voting members?
I remember Juanita's on the Pecos with it.
And Mr. Russell is also on other boards.
Because the way this board is set up right now, most of the time they're all here. Because I've been in some other meetings and they're all here, the alternates included. So, put them all in.
I don't know if y'all would need to change the bylaws.
We'd have to change the bylaws.
Oh, wait, they would have to change the bylaw.
Let's do it.
How can we do it right now?
Yeah.
Just to get it out of,
Well,
not fair for them to be.
So let's
waiting.
put the ones with the most votes in, the least amount of votes alternates.
Alternates, yeah.
okay, so
Let's do that.
the least votes would be Hector and Kenneth Russell as alternate.
No, Amber, just got 1.
Amber just got 1, so she's not even on.
Okay.
Okay. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to appoint those individuals which by name are Ruth Holt, Juanita Davila Mata, Lupe Herrera, Bobby Bafta, Hector Ramon, and Hector Ramon and Kenneth Russell as alternates.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Saldana to appoint Ruth Holt, Juanita Mata, Lupe Herrera, Bobby Vodka, Hector Ramon, and Kenneth Russell to the hot board, and Hector Ramon and Kenneth Russell as alternates. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
Thank you, Council.
Item F4, discuss, consider resolution 26-02-10R A resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a purchase agreement with Central Square for a records management system for the police department in the amount of $244,219.50. Strategic Goal 2, Safe and Secure City Police Toronto.
Mayor, Council, Lisa Tarango, Chief of Police. What you'll see before you is a resolution to purchase a new CAD RMS system for the police department. And I know you kind of look at it and say, where is this going? Well, we're trying to raise the agency into the 21st century, obviously, and part of that is additional technology and equipment that's needed. This is covered under the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority grant, which is an 80-20 grant, where the majority of the cost is going to be paid for by the grant system. So after reviewing 3 different companies that provide this service, and with the assistance of IT, Jesus and Josh, we came up with Central Square as being the one that's going to not only benefit us now, but way into the future. It has all of the qualities and all of the elements, if you will, of what we're going to be needing to run motor data terminals in our patrol units, which are also going to be covered by a grant, this same grant. And we started working on this project since we got the grant, which was late September, early October. And after reviewing all of the different companies that did this type of product, Central Square came out on top.
Now, will this put us even with the sheriff's department?
Even? I'm not sure about even, but
Or even better?
I would say better.
Is this a budgeted item that we talked about during, or is this something that part of the grant?
So a little bit of both. We did budget it this year with the assumption that we weren't going to get accepted for the grant. And so what's nice about it is we did have money put aside for it. But thank goodness we were able to confirm this grant. You know, it's a $349,000 grant. So not only is it going to cover the cost of this, it will also cover the cost of the MDT terminals that are going to go in these units. Plus it controls the cost on the license plate reading cameras, the PTZ cameras, all of which were budgeted items through myself and IT department, and luckily we were able to get it covered, the majority of it, with this grant.
Thank you for continuing to take the time to apply and submit all of the paperwork and stick to those deadlines that are very challenging. On top of everything else, you still try to submit to get any type of resource funding to help us, and I think that's great. So thank you for
I appreciate
continuing
that.
to do
You know,
that.
last year alone in 2025, with the grants that we applied for, we've received over $1 million worth of
That's
awards.
amazing.
And not all of it's come all the way through because it's obviously a project. This project alone is going to take upwards of 9 months to really get it implemented, because we're going to have to integrate our current system with this system. I'm hoping it was just a push of a button, but it does take some time to get it done.
Never that easy.
So they've been realistic with me on the time frame that it'll take, and it will probably go into the next budget year, which luckily we're able to continue to apply for this grant, and we're going to add more technology within the city, and that's with cameras throughout. You know, luckily the camera trailer that we already have, we've made an arrest, just one already, and we've only had it, you know, a couple of months. If
That
you
would
want
be
to
a
look at
really
it, it's out here in the
good,
parking lot
positive
for
story to come
another
out.
case that we're working that's kind of close to home, so.
So does this help us in our process as we move into a new building one of these days? Or one of these centuries?
It is going to happen, yes, sir. I am optimistic that that is going to happen, and this will just be part of it. Because some of the monitoring of the cameras that are going to eventually be throughout the city is going to be done internally in the police department.
And that's what I was basically implying, that if and when we build a new one, can this just go over and be expanded to, you know, to more modern? And I mean, technology is moving so fast that
It is, and I'm really trying to keep up with it. You know, luckily, Jesus and Josh, they're kind of the brains behind that part of it, because I'm not real tech savvy, but I'm learning. Our next process that we're looking to is they have what's called a drone first responder now, where you just launch a drone on certain calls and it can get there within seconds. Where in the instance an officer is being dispatched, it may take several minutes. This drone will be able to provide footage that shows here's a car leaving, they have a gun, that kind of stuff. So it's become a big safety issue, and a lot of agencies are moving towards that. I know Kermit PD is involved in this right now, and they're doing it to launch it to oil field sites. So we're going to keep working at it with their assistance. It's been extremely beneficial to have not only old school, but new school as well, to try to figure it out.
If there's any other questions? Well, I'll make the motion that we approve Resolution 26-02-010R as presented by the Chief of Police.
I'll second.
Have a motion from Councilman Saldana, a second from Councilman Carrasco to approve Resolution 26-02-10R as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
Thank you.
Item F5, discuss, consider a request to change zoning from Commercial 1, C1 to Residential 1, R1 for the west half Block 29E, 9th subdivision of Block 29, College Edition, to the town of Pecos City, Strategic Goal 1, Sustainable Economic Development. Heather Ramirez.
Mayor and council, in your packets, you'll see a request that came in from Mr. Martinez, who was requesting a zone change for half a block. I don't know if you can see it in your packets. It'll be for the entire half block between, it's on Oak Street between 10th and 11th. Let me share on the screen for the public. We did have.
That's that empty block behind Aaron's.
Correct.
Okay.
No.
It's not Aaron's, it's the, yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you got that new restaurant on the north side of it. Is it?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
pink house.
that's what that is.
What is the lot size for a home? I think this one's what, 5750?
In R1, it's 6,000, and in R2, it should be 5,000.
Okay, so they're going to R2.
The zone should be,
So this one's at 5750, do they get a variance?
yes, they'll have to come and ask for a variance on the sizing of it. The other thing is we're updating our ordinance to bring back to council for R1 to allow for 5,000 minimum square foot to build homes in R1. That is something that did come to council quite a few years ago. It wasn't codified, so the best advice was to bring it back to council and make that amendment in our ordinance. So it would be for the entire half that block. We did take this to P&Z on February 19th, brought this before the P&Z board. They voted unanimously to approve, recommending the zone change.
Yeah, that thing been empty for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, and then on Google Earth too, you can see it does, across the street, it is strictly residential. Let me drop this.
Do we have any provisions in place, like, is there a difference, like, this thing's marketed at 17,000 for commercial, if it goes R1, does the market value change to lower? And if it does, do we hold them accountable, like, they say they want to build a home, correct? Do we have any provisions in place that they have to end up to their end of the bargain as well, if we were to, do you kind of see where I'm going with this? Because commercial might be more, do we tax commercial more?
No,
No, it's kind of the same thing?
it's the same.
Okay. So when we change zoning, do we hold them any accountable? Like, they might come and say, want to build a home? Because I think they're probably going to build a home because the deed was transferred last year, so. And that's good, it puts it on the tax roll. I'm just trying to learn this process.
We currently don't have anything in place holding them to build a
Okay.
Yeah, they just have to follow our development standards. That's the that we have written.
Right.
So each developer has to, based upon the zoning, they said that they're following standards. The building code that we have.
It's interesting that the block direction.
That's
south
north,
of
the
north,
pink house is north.
and that's residential, and then this block is.
Well, no, it's all commercial. It's just those houses were there. Because the C1 goes one block on either side of 285, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's the full block.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
That's the reason there's houses on Eddy Street. Eddy Street is all commercial, but there's houses already there. So that's the reason they have to change this to R1, because that whole block is C1, and they're wanting to turn this half. So if they build one, there's more than likely that they'll build more along there eventually.
And the zone change was for the entire half block.
Yeah, okay.
We were just pointing out, this is the person request, and of course, we did send letters to everyone within 200 feet. We didn't receive anything back. No one was intended for the P&Z meeting.
So the zoning board was all right with it, with
Yes.
changing it?
They
Why
were,
not change the whole,
they made the motion unanimously.
why not change the whole half?
It is, this happened.
It's this half. This entire.
They're gonna build, I think they're
Where
gonna
the
build
green-
on where the green is.
Yes, they're gonna build where the green
But we're
is.
changing.
But we're changing that whole strip, that's what I say,
Okay.
if they build one, then they're more than likely,
Oh, yeah.
they can come in and build more then after
So
that.
just convert everything. All right.
So when we pass the zone change, the land to the right belongs to, former council member, what was his name? Field Yao. So the land to the right, based upon the appraisal district, belongs to Field Yao. Does that get R1 as well automatically? Because the neighbor,
This empty lot right here, this?
yes.
Yes, we're changing this
That
entire half
block
block.
is R1.
Will be
That
R1.
entire half side of the block.
So when we zone in the future, or zone change, it affects the whole block?
It depends on,
Yes, it depends. It depends on the request and what zoning is abutting
Okay.
property.
because they could have come in and just requested that one lot to be
Right.
changed to
You have to
R1.
have the, all
But
of
they're asking for the whole block, the whole half block.
Even though they're just gonna use that one portion.
And so the question was asked if that was the way we were gonna change. We could still do that and it would not be considered spot zoning because it is still abutting the R1, sorry. So even if it came up like this, that would be
He's
fine.
okay with the zone?
And then, of course, the city, we did invite, we have a consultant that's helping us with planning and zoning, plat, subdivision regs, reviewing our building plans that are coming in. He came to, and we invited him to the P&Z meeting, and he was here for any questions. And that was one of the questions that was asked. If we did just the one, it still would not be considered spot zoning because it's
So you
abutting R1.
couldn't come in and do one, I don't know how I'm gonna ask it. I know what I'm thinking of.
Can you put the map, the visual? The reason I ask is because there's another landowner that owns that big strip. And if I'm correct, is that new Beauty of Taco place?
Yeah, on the border, north.
What if they want to come back and buy that for additional parking in the future? Now it's R1, and then we have to go back and flip-flop to go back to commercial. So that's what I'm trying to see, because you got to the left side is Garcia and to the right is Field Yao, based upon the appraisal website. And
Unless the website's not updated. Because this application is for the whole lot, so you would think Alfred
Okay.
Garcia has the whole lot.
then in this case, he's probably the owner of the whole lot then.
I
Okay.
would think so.
Yeah, because
I mean,
he's
I
probably
don't
going to be
know
the
that.
owner of that Beauty of Taco place, correct?
I don't know. who-
I think so, yeah, I think, okay, that'll work.
I'm not sure, but we just put this here to put that he's gonna build the house.
That
in the
makes
corner.
sense. I've been in that situation before, that's why I asked that question.
They're good questions.
And their food is delicious. So good.
Messy but good.
That's not on the agenda.
Any other questions?
Go ahead.
Any other questions?
That's not
I
on the
make a
agenda.
motion to pass the zoning change recommended from the planning division, and so I'll make a motion to pass.
I'll second.
Have a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from Councilman Saldana to approve the zoning change request. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Go to item F6, discuss, consider resolution 26-02-011R, a resolution ratifying an interlocal equipment transfer and purchase agreement with the city of Presidio, Texas for the sale of one used 2004 Peterbilt garbage truck and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement. Strategic Goal 6, sound governance and fiscal management. Heather Ramirez.
Mayor and council, in your package, you'll find the resolution. What this is the city of Presidio actually reached out to us to let us know the position they're in. They're actually in urgent need of equipment for their operations. And of course, we all know we don't like to be in the news for not being able to
Pick up our garbage.
pick up trash. Yes, and at the same time, they're also balancing that their organization is currently navigating financial constraints and limited capital budget. So actually, when they reached out, we do have two, and we have Mr. Pete Morales here with us, our landfill supervisor, if we have any other questions. We do have a 2004 Peterbilt. Its nickname is actually called the Turtle. It's past its expiration date. We discussed probably selling this to them for $49,500. The reason for that amount is because that is how much the city put into it last year, putting in a new engine, trying to salvage this, and it does still work, it operates. Presidio's actually coming down, I think they already came down to come and look at it, and that's where we started negotiating the rate. Because of their financial situation as well, we also negotiated maybe as soon as they come pick up, which is scheduled for today, then paying half up front, the $24,750, and then making the second payment the first month of the new fiscal year. So again this year, but in October of 2026, they'll pay the second half of $24,750.
What was the first amount?
$24,750? Or
750?
yes. We just split it in half. So the total purchase price is going to be $49,500.
We're just trying to recoup.
We're just trying to recoup what the city.
For the new engine in.
Yes, that's what we're trying to make ourselves whole for what we just put into it.
And helping them out.
It is the oldest truck of the fleet.
So I'd like to see one day, I know we're not in that position, but one day as we grow, be able to help our neighbors like that and say, you know what, we got something that if you need it, you think you can take it.
Yes.
Councilman Saldana, if I may, just to give you all an idea, this is the second one that we've asked. Van Horn reached out to me 3 months ago and was in a critical need of a truck that we had just sitting in the yard. And they have trucks on order, but everything is delayed. So they were not able to service their truck. So right now, we are leasing them a truck that they will use until June and bring it back to us with all of the cost and any repairs or anything on them. So we're helping Van Horn, and now we're helping out Presidio, because I think I don't think we could have gotten much more out of an auction on that in 2004. But when I look at the budget for Presidio, all it tells me is that we are blessed here, because the reason that they're doing it 24/5 and 24/5 is so that it can go into 2 different fiscal years.
So I'm thinking I would make a motion to just sell it to them for the $24,000, that first initial payment, and we'll just call it even. I think there was not that long ago, Pecos was struggling economically. We were not in the position that we are now, and you never know what could happen. And I think if we're in the position to do so, I would be more than happy to, share the wealth we have.
We're blessed. You said the word. And
We are.
I second that motion.
Captain, can I ask a quick question? Why are we letting the mayor authorize this instead of Charles Lino?
It has verbiage for either or.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't have that on here,
And
so.
actually, we've done all the transfers for $1, right?
Yes.
Here and there. And that was, should beat me to the punch. That was going to be my motion. We're blessed.
They will be thrilled.
We're good.
Do we have any other machinery sitting in like a boneyard that we need to get rid of?
No, we auction those off. Councilman Crosco, on an annual basis, we're putting stuff up for auction.
This says, authorize the mayor or the city manager to execute the agreement.
We try to write it that way, just
Thank
for
you.
either one.
You knew where we were coming.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, they're gonna be.
So we have a motion from Councilwoman Trujillo, a second from Councilman Arona to approve Resolution 26-02-11R for half of the for $24,750. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries with Councilman Graham voting against.
Thank you.
We'll go to item F7, update on the police department land, strategic goal 2, safe and secure city. Mr. Graham.
I've been asking, we need some movement. I think other people in the council too also want to see some movement on the land. And I'd like to see a top 3 if we could get top 3 choices. And I'd also like to include the county's land too. If we see something that would work really good, we could make a deal with the county, possibly swap land or something like that. But I would like to get this moving.
We are working to get it moving, Councilman Graham, and we do have additional options. Chief Tarango and I have these discussions frequently. I'm working with a group that is, and I work through the EDC sometimes, but this group has come to me directly and is looking at some land that's over there off of 285 where the fireworks stands that are going to go away are at. They're talking about possibly wanting to sell land there. I'm talking with Target Logistics on, they're probably going to be full at their man camps again that we have here. And I'm working with them because they said that they're willing to buy and give us 10 acres of land. I don't know where at yet. Chief probably isn't aware of that because that's happened while she was out. And we're also looking with the EDC and making sure that we're coordinating. Jimmy's going to have some money that he has available to us in the negotiations with the hospital that we will be able to buy land that the EDC and or the county has available. So we are exploring all of those options. I want the chief and her staff to weigh in as far as logistically beneficial places. The one on 285 would be great. It would back up to our city yard and stuff like that. We'd have egress and ingress from multiple directions.
So this isn't where Mr. W is, it's the next fireworks
piece over. So those are the options that we're exploring right now, Councilman Graham. It's 3 or 4. It's not just like, oh, we're stuck on one that we're going to set with. I wish things move faster, but they do not. But I can promise you that we'll work on it and we'll continue to give you all updates at least once a month on that.
As Councilman Graham alluded to, we brought it up before. I'd like to see some timeline or at least some progress, like 30 days, 60 days, something. We need to start moving.
Next meeting.
And the issue, we can show you the top 3, but until we determine a piece of land, we can't do any design. And that's what we're waiting on. So we have to get that land taken care of, and we will work on it.
Well, how many acres do we need, you think, to build everything?
So through the discussions that we've had, we're looking at least 7 to 10 acres. And we're kind of gauging that on the size of the one they just built in Monahans. We went and looked at it, asking a little bit of more information. They built that on 10 acres. So it gives them a little wiggle room if they want to expand. Plus, it also included their animal shelter on that 10 acres that they...
Enough room for the marshal's prison too?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that's what we're looking at is probably 10 acres. That's one grant, just to make sure we got plenty of room.
I like what Councilman Corona said about a timeline, so that we can know, because we've been talking about this for a while. And the hospital wants that piece of land that's already ours. We could already been built. But, we're in the business of negotiating, I guess. I don't know. But I like to see us move a little quicker.
Absolutely. So would we.
We'll have some options by the second meeting in March, if that's okay. That's 30 days.
We'll be counting.
I know you will.
Okay.
I think it's actually 28 days, but.
No, but that's true.
When y'all come back from Washington, hopefully we'll have some direction.
Item F8, update on strategic plan professional services agreement.
Well, I wanted to talk about the Tommy Dominguez, and I guess this will cover it, but it is worded, I looked at that and scratched my head a little bit. I wanted Tommy Dominguez's name in there, because that's specifically what I wanted to talk about. And I look at this letter, his report, again, his activity report. I just want to throw that out there for discussion with the other council. And see, I would like to see some kind of movement on this. We can't do anything today, but would like to maybe stop the bleeding, possibly. So, what's?
Well, I talked to Charles earlier today. It's just so ironic that Kermit put out some guy, Nino America from Midland, is posting a lot of things on Facebook against Mr. Gonzalez. He's already consulted in Kermit, so they're wanting to know how's he doing it and still be on the clock for Midland as a city. Like I told Charles, we have enough bad publicity from the Pecos HFC, and I hope this doesn't turn out to be something like that, where we have to be scraping mud off our face for doing bad decisions. We'll let you brought it up.
Oh, I hadn't heard that about Kermit. So, and this, like I said, I'm a numbers guy, and there's no numbers in this report.
Yes.
And so.
Understood.
And so.
Understood.
My concern is, a couple months ago, I kind of noticed that the report was underwhelming, in my opinion. He helped us to get our strategic plan in place, and we extended it to kind of help us be more independent and get to move in the direction that we need to. I feel that, whatever's happening in Midland, whatever press he's getting from his services to other communities, that's on them. Let them navigate that. We have, our strategic plan it's a lot better than where we started. So he's helped us, and we can, just cut the professional ties. He's helped us, and we can just maybe move on. It's an awful lot of money. He did help us, and I know it's hard for the community members to see, well, what has he done? You look at a report like this, and you kind of scratch your head, and you don't really see anything tangible. You can't really pinpoint it, but he has helped Pecos a lot, and he has been a good resource for the community and for the city. But we're extending it too long, and that's where I have an issue.
Is staff at a place where if we cancel his contract, his agreement, that they can continue on the steps that have been set in place?
I had conversations with both Heather and Nicole this morning on this, and we think we can get there. Right now, I'd like to have 3 more months, and then we're done, is what I would like to do. Because right now we did, you all, and most of you all have met, I think all of you all may have met Nicole already. And if you have, she brings some of the information that I bring from the training that I learned when I was under Tommy in El Paso. She brings some of the same stuff. She has already developed a dashboard, which is the next step that we were working on related to the strategic plan. And this is something that's going to be available once we get there. And it's going to probably take us 2 to 3 more months. That's why I'm asking for that. And then it will be fully accessible to mayor and council at any point in time. So some of the questions that you all get asked when you're out in the community will be available to you just by pulling it up on your phone. And that's the benefit that I see coming in the next 2 to 3 months.
So you don't think they can do it without Tommy's help?
Possibly, yeah. It's the timeline that I'm talking about is what worries me, Councilman Graham. The answer is yes, absolutely. It just may be extended. So if we're willing to say, okay, I'll wait for that what I'm promising or telling you all that we can do right now, it'll be 6 months instead of 3 months. That's what we're looking at.
Well, one of the things about Tommy is very smart. But what I like to see it's like Councilwoman Trujillo said, something tangible. The plan is there. Now do we know how to implement it? And what's the results of that? That's what I want to see now, because we did that. And not taking nothing about it, because he's one smart cookie.
Yeah.
And I like talking to him because but he has helped us. He has helped the community, because who in Pecos knows how to take Pecos to the next level? Because Pecos has never gone to a next level. Never, like this gentleman said, Pecos has been flat dead. Now here we got an opportunity, and we got somebody that has dealt with big cities, and look what's happening in Midland. And if we can get, we have to pay for somebody, because there's nobody here that can do that specific job. It's like a lawyer that we just employed.
Well, I think we have the staff that can do that job. It's just that we are not going to be as quick, because we don't have the support staff that some of the bigger cities have. We really don't. And the direction that council's given me is, if I didn't focus on some of the other stuff, could we get it done right away? Yes, absolutely. But
I think just
with the development that we have going on, it's gonna continue to stretch us, and I think we're getting close.
Well, I don't knock I think we have some great employees, and now with the addition of Ms. Nicole, we got now a little more that can push us over the hump and let's get going.
Yes, sir.
And because we don't need to be holding back for nothing, as long as we know what we're doing.
Yes,
These guys know what they're doing. I mean, I've dealt with some of them here lately, like, man, I was impressed.
Yeah, and we do have updates coming on the strategic plan that we promised that we would do semi-annual updates. You all have had the first 6-month one that was done a little over a year ago. You've had the year-end one. You will have another one that's coming up next month, where you'll get an update and see, and should allow you to see the progress that we're making related to the strategic plan. That'll be presented by the team leaders. With that being said, we've had to modify some of the team leaders because some of the people that were in charge have exited, which is good. We're moving in a positive direction. We're not being held back, so I'm comfortable with it. But I'll take care of whatever you all ask me to do for next day.
One thing I want to emphasize, that it's been pleasure talking and working and picking Tommy's brain. One thing about me is I just like to get to the point, and I think that Councilman Sedania did hit up some really good points, took some actually out of my mouth, but Pecos is becoming a very high-performing city, and other taxing and other surrounding communities can either go forward or stay behind. And for so long, this community has just been stagnant. And the staff that Tommy is continuing to show and bring the commitment to execute, that's going to be up to people at City Hall.
It is.
And his role, what I liked about it was that he understands, and every city councilman has a strategy that they want to carry out in their own vision. And if you don't know this by now, I have a very strong vision when it comes to cleaning up this community, offering a quality of life, and giving the citizens, as this citizen spoke today, about how filthy our community is. And one thing, being a businessman and being in the military, is I learned is accountability. And it ain't for everybody, because sometimes I might come off a little strong, but I got elected in this position by a lot of constituents. It wasn't just one group. And all they all wanted was a cleaner community. And we need to find the right consultants, from lawyers to Mr. Gonzalez's and all them, but we also need to be holding City Hall accountable to implement that. And he is, I mean, we could look at it two ways. It's an investment, or we can look at it like, hey, we wasted money. But we have to make every consultant too accountable to that. We're not going to just be a stepping stone to find I call them economic opportunists.
Yeah.
So he has really, Nicole has worked with Tommy, and that's the first step. And I think once we start gathering all the input, what needs to be done, the most important thing is the vision of the council. Not the vision of City Hall, council. The citizens elect council to do a job, and council hires a city manager. And I repeat this a lot because sometimes I feel like we lose sight of that. We forget why we're really here. So in order to make this town go into the next direction without being looked at Like, oh, they're so easy to rubber stamp stuff or rubber stamp an abatement or rubber stamp this. Those days are over pretty soon. I can tell you, they're coming to an end because we're going to start surrounding ourselves with some real soldiers that are about to step up the game and start getting us some wins. So that's how I feel about Tommy right now. If he can make wins, I mean, you don't even have, it's not a rocket scientist. Just go to Midland and see what he's doing. And if he wants to help Pecos get some victories and Kermit, so be it. The rest can stay behind.
Anyone else? Okay. So we will go on to item F9. Discuss tax abatement guidelines, strategic goal 6, sound governance and fiscal management.
Mayor, I'd like to table this item until we can discuss to our future attorney. I'd like to discuss this with our attorney more in detail, the one we just hired on. So at this item, I'd like to, table the item. I don't need a motion on the discuss, so, right? No motion on the discuss? All right.
Okay. We will go to item F10, update on the NIT tournament at Cyclone Ballpark, strategic goal 5, promote open and consistent communication.
So Savannah just sent me a text right now. She's able to be here at the moment, but we're running into a problem with her getting some information. It seems like there's a confusion on hotel rooms, and I hope we're not wrong. I know Councilman Sedano received some calls, Councilman Graham, that it seems that Monahan's taking all our rooms right now. They're capitalizing on our effort because of some of the rooms were, can y'all help me out here? What did y'all receive? Some of the rooms were doubling the prices?
Yeah, that's what,
Like $450.
the website, something about the website.
The USSSA website that we don't control, that has a link to Cyclone, has the room rates for all of the local area hotels at a rate of telling them what the 2-night rate is, not a single night rate. Therefore, they're looking at it, so they're thinking that some of the room nights are $400 a night. Well, that's actually should have been for 2 nights, so it's a mistake from that standpoint. We reached out to USSSA, and Tommy Hawkins is working to try to fix that, but he doesn't have control. It's a national piece of it. I do not know how that happened. I found out about it this morning. And I know that we're addressing it, but it does not help our local hoteliers at all. So we have to use this meeting as a forum. We will put some we will put some PSAs out there on our website to let them know that this is a website issue from National USSSA.
Call the hotel to get rates.
Call the hotel for rates.
Right.
But we got another one coming next month, right, the softball?
Yes, sir.
And we need to make sure we tackle that before we even start.
That's what we had the conversation with Tommy Hawkins today to get done. Yes, sir.
Because for finally got something going, finally, and then this thing happened.
I don't believe that it was just like I'm sorry. I don't believe it's just like a simple oops, it's a oopsie, it's a glitch. Like everything technology, I don't buy that. I'm sorry. And we need to fix it like yesterday. That's ridiculous.
It is. Absolutely. I found
Wow.
out
What a
about
oopsie, like bullshit.
It's not us
Yeah.
though. We don't have any control over what's on their website.
That's crazy.
Well, other than that, on a positive note, the tournament's looking good. We'll be having the tournament. We have about 60 teams still signed up, and hope to see everybody out there on Saturday.
2 o'clock, right?
Well, if y'all want to see the mayor throw the first pitch,
I'm gonna try to throw a pitch.
the mayor will be
At
throwing the
9:30.
first at 9:30 in the morning,
9:30?
9:30.
and the VIP event,
It's 2 to 4.
and then there'll be an hors d'oeuvre VIP event 2 to 4. So,
And we will encourage the community to come out and support this because, man, this is about us, about Pecos. Pecos, Texas, known for baseball. Over all the years, we used to have plenty of teams going to tournaments every year, and we didn't have a facility like that. We had Chano Prieto. We went everywhere because we couldn't host them here. I said, man, now we got it, but we can't let this bring us down. Let's support it and keep going forward and make an experience for these kids that are coming out from different places.
I'd like to say thank you to Councilman Carrasco for his vision and drive to bring this forward. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. And I know how much work you put into it, so for something like this, like, it's just,
It's not an expense.
Well, it wasn't a single effort, I could tell you.
yeah, it was a lot of work.
David
and-
Joe Gonzalez had a
Yeah.
big, we just put like-minded people together, and I did the politics, he did the networking, and we made it work.
And I was getting, when the meeting started, I was getting texts. So what's the verdict? What's the verdict? Can't answer. Can't answer yet.
And on the website, it does specify, for example, like the first one that pops up is Fairfield Inn. In the large print, it does say 450, but if you read right under it, it says it's 193 per night. I mean, you have to continue reading to really see
Yeah.
it, but.
So
Oh,
yes,
but
then they see
they
it,
saw the
they
big
go,
ones.
no.
Sticker shock, you're like, absolutely not.
You don't,
Yes,
you don't
if you see
continue
this
reading
sticker
after
shock,
you
then I
see
gotta
that.
continue
Yeah.
reading.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
We'll go to item F11, discuss, consider approval of a memorandum of understanding between Reeves County and the Town of Pecos City for the development of a swimming pool at the Bessie Haynes Park. Strategic Goal 4, enhance quality of life through recreation, culture, and education.
Is this something we could talk about in exec?
We can move it to executive. Under real estate,
I don't think that this qualifies. I don't know what ground it would be.
What about a copy of the memorandum? Mine doesn't show it.
we don't have a copy of the memo.
There's not a memo hooked to it or attached. There's not we have a preliminary draft. We real estate negotiations.
I mean, it's not negotiating. I don't see any grounds it goes under closed session for.
Commissioner, approach.
Good evening again. I'm Louise Moore. I'm here representing Reeves County. I'm Commissioner for Precinct 1. And as you all know, our community wants a swimming pool. And you all have done a master plan, which is beautiful, but it does not include a swimming pool. And what I would like for us to do is work together at getting a swimming pool built, with the county getting a portion of the property that you all have signed off for the dog run in your master plan, to let us build a swimming pool there. As you know, Ward County, lots of smaller towns have swimming pools. Councilman Carrasco was kind enough, and Heather as well, and drove over to Barstow to see the pool that they're building. We were fortunate that day, the commissioner for that precinct was there, and they're calling that we're building a pool for Pecos. And they are, because they're building a pool for a very small population, and we have no pools for a much larger population. So I would like to work with the city at building a pool on that particular part of the park. We don't want to take the whole park, and we would be responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of the swimming pool, not the rest of the park, but of the swimming pool. So we've already gone out for an RFP, RF qualifications for a pool, but we're still trying to decide where it's going to go. We're looking at a piece of property to purchase, but to me it makes more sense for the city and county to work together, because if we build a pool across the street from where you're building the park, the kids are going to be running back and forth, and that's going to be very dangerous. So if we could build it there, the kids could do everything together. They'd have the park and we'd have the pool. So tonight I'm here to ask you all, what do you want to do? How would you like to proceed with this?
One of my concerns and big feedback I received in the community was somebody had mentioned we dangled a carrot in front of them when we had asked for their feedback, and we got them out of their homes to go do, sticker boards. And I'm hearing two different messages. I'm hearing that I'm not on social media, but one of my friends is telling me that 80% of social media had asked for a swimming pool, and then I'm hearing that the surveys, there wasn't a swimming pool. We all know it's not rocket science, and if this is true, I hope it's not Ayercaynosa, and no disrespect towards Caynosa, they're building a pool too. So that was just something that kind of somebody told me today. I can't verify that yet, but that's what this community needs. It needs a pool, and we asked them during the surveys what they wanted, and then we go back and you look at the master plan, it's not even there. And that's kind of, I didn't really want to say this in open session, but it's really, you can piss off a lot of people. I mean, you're asking your bosses, the CEOs, what they want, and then we don't even deliver. Kind of makes us look bad.
And it's very disappointing. I mean,
It is.
Rankin has the swimming pool, McCamey, and they all have nice swimming pools, and we're a lot larger than them. So again, if we work together, we can get this done, but we want to move right now on it. We don't want to try to wait. I don't know when you all had planned to start the pool for your master plan. I mean, the project, your master plan. I don't know when you all were starting it, how much it was going to cost or anything like that. And so tonight, again, I'm asking you, we want to be part of it because it's good for Pecos and we want to be part of it, but you've got to open the door for us to get in. And so tonight, that's what I'm here to ask you for, is we're ready to work with you all and we want to see it done. Barstow's is going to be ready to go by the end of the summer. Well, no, before summer, by the end of the school year. I go over about once a week to look at it and say, I wish we were building one. But Ward County shouldn't be responsible for building a pool for Pecos. I mean, we can afford to do it. It's just, again, you all have to open the door for us to be able to walk through it and do it. Because we're willing to build it, pay for it, but not maintain the whole park, but just that part of it.
But you want to do it at the dog park?
Yeah, so
Well,
I'm
you know,
asking,
Why
where
not?
can we move the dog park? Because the dog park is an important thing to have over there at the park
We got a
also.
big dog park already.
What?
Not on
We
this
have
side.
a big dog park
Not
over
on
there.
this side of
But not
town,
on that
though.
What
side.
does it matter?
Well, I think if we say we're listening to our residents.
Ain't
I
no
mean,
dogs on the east
I went and
side.
I put my little sticker
right,
up
no,
there
there's-
and little
no
notes,
dogs.
and I didn't see it. I mean, I don't know what your numbers came in for the dog park versus the numbers
Where
that
is
came
the
in
dog
for the
park?
pool.
What about that big open area right there?
Do we
What is that?
have access to what HAF brought us when they did those surveys?
Yes, we do. We do have the,
Because if I remember, a pool was way down on the list.
it was on the survey side. That it was.
Because people on social media didn't go to the meetings or fill out the surveys.
I mean, there's no dogs on the east side. I don't see nobody walking
Well,
dogs.
the
I see
dogs are
them getting
very
chased
loose.
by dogs.
They're loose, yeah.
They're loose, but they ain't walking no dogs.
They're dogs from the barrio.
I think we can just agree that
realistic.
it's an important part, but we can incorporate something else.
We can do location
Well,
later.
I know,
we can do
across
that
the
also.
street, there is a piece of property across the street that you might want to put the dog park, but to me, if we were to buy that property, the kids would be running back and forth
We don't
across
want
the
that.
street.
We don't
It's a
need
very
that.
busy
We don't
street.
need that.
Marco,
So-
you seen that memorandum?
There's not a memorandum that's been issued to Parker yet.
Oh.
This is gonna, and I'm sorry, Commissioner Moore.
May I step up here?
Oh, sure.
Commissioner Moore, Councilman Crosco and I had a conversation the other day. And what you're seeing on the screen, the browned out area is an area that right now the city owns. It is, and we're having survey. The survey will be in Monday or Tuesday. So we're trying to be proactive because we are good in trying to foster partnerships with the county. So I had Mary Carmen reach out to HAF and see what it would take if we did this.
Well, now, I thought this was all part of the Bessie Haynes property.
It is.
The brown part was part of the Bessie Haynes
It
property.
is, it is.
Mhm.
But right now, the Bessie Haynes property,
Mhm.
the city actually owns that piece of it.
Okay, do
It
y'all
wasn't-
own it or is it a lease?
We own it.
Y'all own it?
The lease
Okay.
is the rest of everything,
Okay.
okay?
That's where the original pool used to be back at this.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
So is
so
that going to be a problem?
it would not, because it's gonna be a brand new build.
They broke it down and filled it in.
Okay.
So what we talked about is, I told Commissioner Moore, because we're looking at another area, but I told her I would explore and get that done. I told Councilman Carrasco that I would do that, put in forth the effort, get a survey done on some of that stuff, and see if it was viable for us to do that. So when we looked at it, we cannot sell it. We could lease it to the county, because it's dedicated parkland. So, Commissioner Moore voiced it well. My concerns with you all is the city trying to maintain and operate a pool is going to be prohibitive, cost prohibitive to that. And in my conversations with Commissioner Moore, the entire cost for the Bessie Haynes renovation is approximately $13 to $14 million for the entire park. That's what it would have been as it was stated and done by HAF. Commissioner Moore had made the comment to me that if we can find a way to get that pool there, that she would search for dollars to try to help us get the park done sooner if I put it into phases. So that's where we're coming here tonight. I'd like, if we can, I'd like for council to give myself or staff authorization to try to develop this MOU to bring back to you all. and send to the county commissioners with a plan so that we have it, and it may be an interlocal agreement instead of a MOU. It may be in that format that we put it together so that we can accommodate the needs of the constituents on the east side that want a pool, that Ms. Moore has been advocating for, and at the same time get our park moving forward and get this done.
Louise, how much land is it, on Charles too, how much land is it going to take to put a pool?
Well, we're putting out again for the request for qualifications. We've got to put that out, but we really need to know how much that square is, because they can design within that square that we have there. So.
That is 2.83 acres is what it is, Ms. Moore.
I would think that would be enough.
But the thing is, I mean, it's not just for the east side, it's for Pecos.
It's for Pecos.
It's for Pecos.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've spoken with the county judge over in Ward County, and again, they got a lot of pushback because they were wanting to build a pool in Barstow. And the Ward County people were saying, you're building that pool for Pecos. And he said, that is in our county, that is part of our county, and we're building it for Ward County residents. If Pecos people come, that's great, we don't care, we just want it, we want a pool. So they are putting a pool in all of their small communities. And here we are, Pecos growing in leaps and bounds, and we have no pool, we have no public pools.
Well, we need to look at this because I'd like to see a pool there.
Is Podium still putting his pool in?
Well, we're gonna do this one first, but we're working on, we wanna put one in, he wants to put one in his precinct as well.
Okay, so just something to keep in mind, I talked to Coach Menarez today, and they certified 6 lifeguards last year. And she said they do lifeguard classes. She has to have 4 to make a class. And their certification's for 2 years. So finding lifeguards for 2 pools plus the water park may be an issue. So that's just something to keep in mind.
And we're not building these pools large enough that it's going to be in any competition with the water park. That's the whole goal. The one in Barstow is 85% occupancy is what theirs holds. So we're not trying to build giant pools that are going to be in competition because we want the water park. We want people to come in and use the water park. And we want people to have different options. And so by having 2, that's probably what we need for our community. And as far as the lifeguards, I think it's only a seasonal job. And your kid's lifeguarded, my kid's lifeguarded. And I think we can get enough lifeguards to take care of it.
We got a good swimming program in Pecos.
So Charles, you want to come back with an MOU?
What I'd like to do is have you authorize me through this conversation tonight to put together an MOU or an interlocal agreement and work with Ms. Moore to get it ready so that it can be presented to council, and then if council sees fit that we approve it, that then it can be presented to Commissioners Court so that we can move this forward. And I'd like to do it by the next meeting if we can, because I know Ms. Moore's time is of the essence on this.
It's very important because to me, this is just an opportunity for us to work together. And I'm here begging you all, please let me use this. And the community wants this. This isn't I don't even
It
swim.
is. I agree.
So I'm here begging you all to give us this opportunity. And I don't feel like I need to be begging you all because it is what our community wants. Now, the little stickers, I don't know why they didn't, but I campaigned for a whole year. And that whole year, people were saying, we want a swimming pool. I've been in office a year and people are still saying, we want a swimming pool. And I already told people, go out and buy you a new swimsuit because we're getting a swimming pool. So somewhere, we need to put a swimming pool. And I think this would be perfect because the kids are there playing and we're not worried about them having to run across the street to go from the pool to the park. And
Can we go ahead and make a motion, or is there any more questions?
And this is more, I don't know where your constituents will be without your passion and your advocacy. And you don't need to be begging, because you're actually saving me Arctic from getting out here and fighting for that pool as well, because they're very lucky to have you.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate you taking the time to go over on a very cold, rainy day to Barstow and spending time with the commissioner there. And I'm just impressed that they're willing to put the pool there, even though he said even his other commissioners were pushing against him putting that pool in Barstow. But he did what needed to be done, and I think that as community leaders, we need to work together and do what our community needs.
I'd like to make a motion to consider approval of the MOU between the Reeves County and the town of City of Pecos for the development.
We don't have an MOU to approve yet.
To give our city manager the authorization
to work on
an MOU between the Reeves County and the City of Pecos, town of City of Pecos, to develop a swimming pool at the Bessie Haynes Park.
Okay, so we have a motion from Councilman Carrasco, a second from Councilman Saldana to approve the city manager to work on an MOU.
Or interlocal.
Or an interlocal agreement between Town of Pecos City and Reeves County for a pool at Bessie Haynes Park.
Can we put a deadline, like we need, we're talking about it, we have meetings, we do this, like, let's get it, like,
It'll be ready for the next meeting, Councilwoman Trujillo.
March.
what?
Yeah, March 12th.
Before y'all leave?
Put on the
Yes.
record. Thank you.
Okay, so all those in
We're working
favor
on it.
say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The record shows the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Go to item F12, discuss board and committee application requirements, strategic goal 5, promote open and consistent communication.
Just something that I'll table again until we talk to our attorney to make sure in the future moving forward that we can, now that we have a lot of things going on and more applicants coming in, that we stick to one guideline and move with it moving forward.
So we go on to item F13, update on the water line repair on Veteran Street for the water pressure improvement project, strategic goal 5, promote open and consistent communication.
Yeah, Mayor, Council, Chad Tompkins, WTC. I've got some slides. Okay, just going to give you a quick update on the project, and if you have any questions, I'll certainly answer those.
Well,
yes, sir.
Before you start, I do have, because I've been approached quite a bit, and especially people on Veteran Street, of how dirty it is. They sent a street sweeper, but all it did was just a vacuum that threw it up in the air, the dirt, landed on this gentleman's, that lives on the corner of Veterans in Iowa. All the dust landed on his trees, his cars. Where I work, on Texas Mexican Power Company, there's big potholes now where the dirt wasn't packed. And then you got something about that. This entrance has been blocked since the beginning of the project. No attempts to cover it up or start. I understand you're going to do all your work and then come back and pave. Some of these parts are getting pretty bad. It's starting to break into the pavement that's there already.
Right, okay.
So that's going to cause a big issue. It's already starting to cause a big issue.
Well, Councilman, I can assure you it's going to be perfect when it's done. Sometimes it is a little bit ugly along the way, unfortunately. We did contact them about veterans. I told them, look, you got to get this stuff cleaned up. I mean, we have somebody here every day checking on the project. So I told them, look, if we have to shut the project down and go and take care of some stuff, then that's what we need to do. It was my understanding that it was taken care of, cleaned up, and put in a better position. I'll go check with them on some of the blocked entrances. I know that they've made some. Where is the one you're talking about exactly?
On right as you go down 80th Street, hit Stafford.
Yeah.
Right in front. Right in front. You'll see
Oh yeah, that. Okay, so if you see this here, both ends of Stafford are not finished. So they actually made a lot. Like they're close here all over by 17. I just went there today. The bore's done. They were making the final connection. They're probably going to bury that end on the east side of 17, probably today, look like. The one over there by 80th Street is still open. They'll jump over to that next. That's going to be the next thing they go do.
But the one on veterans in Iowa, it looks like they're done. So they could actually send somebody to pay.
No, sir. Well, they're done on veterans. So what they're going to wait till spring break to finish. There's the other piece on, was that Normandy? And going north again on Iowa. That we're going to wait till spring break to do that because of the, wouldn't be as much traffic and things like that, which is very soon. And then also they did, all the connections on the north side of Stafford are finished now, and they need to go clean those up and dress them up, pull the, the safety fence down, but that's done. So they'll be done on this side of town pretty soon. And then they'll jump over to 3rd Street area.
What about that area on Texas Street? That's been,
Is that the part that goes north? I was thinking that was Iowa.
no, it's that Ginger Lane.
Oh, Ginger Lane. Yeah, okay, that's a weird one. Okay, so That was replatted apparently, and so the city's line currently kind of comes across here or something, and it goes up and it curls around. That's what it does. It goes up like this and curls around and dead ends. Okay, so the goal of this piece is to connect that line so it's not a dead end. It is a 6-inch, because the whole goal of this project is to help the volume of water move around better.
Right.
So for example, you have, low pressure here by the school. It's not really true. You don't. The pressure, you have a water tower here and a water tower here. You have plenty of pressure. It's not a pressure problem. It's a volume problem. As soon as you turn on those fire trucks and they start pulling, there's not enough water can get there. Because the lines, you have dead end lines, you don't have enough big lines close. Does that make sense? And so this line is to connect a 10-inch that goes along Eddy to a 16-inch here, and then all the connections to eliminate dead ends. And this line is to connect 16-inch here with this new 12-inch here, which in this one connects down to there's 10-inch down. So this is a lot of like looping, we call it, to try to help the big amounts of water to get to where it needs to be. And so this one, we wanted to connect here because it already has a 6-inch line that's just almost connected, but it's not quite. So so the way it was platted before, this was great, but they redid it. Nobody knew, we didn't have that visibility. So there's a little work that's gonna have to be done here to move this a little south, but that's been worked out. So did you have an issue like
Well,
with
I was
this?
just wondering
or-
because I live off of Texas Street and I go by there and I'm like, it's uncovered forever.
As far as just the asphalt needs to go in, yeah. I would say it's not gonna be very long and they'll pave all that. I will get, Oscar's been here. Oscar is the guy from WTC that's here a lot. And I will talk to him about that and find out exactly when that's gonna happen. And then in front of Texas and Mexico Power. I noticed it was a little pothole. It wasn't terrible, but I noticed that today. Maybe there was a spot that I didn't look at when I drove by that's worse, but.
On the southeast corner of the driveway going into our gate.
Okay.
It's worse now.
Okay.
Now everybody's coming in on the.
Well, I'll talk to
the west side to be,
right.
a hard bump.
Kind of going around it,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
okay, I'll look at that. I'll have them go, and, because they were talking about going along here and cleaning up because they made those connections, so they're gonna have the crew doing that, so that's a good time for them to clean and dress that back up and make it right.
The gentleman, like I said, on Veterans Scenario is pretty adamant about having something done. If they can even patch it up now, I don't know.
Okay. Well, they're gonna go dig more over here, spring break, and then I think that'll pretty much, about the time that's done, they'll be finished over here, and they'll send in the paving crew to pave it. So that's pretty quick. But we'll definitely have them. I know that they're going to be doing some cleanup anyway, like maybe tomorrow. I mean, they were mentioning it to me. So as soon as that happens, I'll have them come over here and make sure.
If they start sweeping the road, please get a vacuum.
Yeah,
Sweeper, not a blower.
Okay.
It just kind of stirs it up and resettles it.
Fair, that's fair. Okay, can you go to the next one? That's it. So this is over the second slide. Well, this is well. Go to the number 2 slide. You went past it. There you go. This is where they're going next. This is 3rd Street. We actually have a meeting tomorrow with TxDOT about it. Well, this line, the red line, is to be abandoned. So that's.
Zoom in a little bit, please. There you go.
Yeah,
So this is,
I can see.
this is
Thank
280
you.
this is 285 and 3rd. Okay, so this line is to be abandoned. That's the whole point of this job, is to get rid of this line. And so TxDOT has continued to not approve the permit to work there, and they're like, we don't want you to cut our road. I'm convinced that they think we're trying to get them to let us cut the whole thing, but we're not. We're just cutting here in a couple of places to disconnect it and abandon it, because we're going to move this line and make some other connections around so that we don't need this line anymore. because this is super old and it leaks a lot and it's under the highway, which is a problem. And so, to use Mr. Baca's words, they're gonna cut it, either we're gonna do it now and disconnect this line, or next time it leaks, he's gonna cut it. Because that's the truth. There is zero anybody's gonna do about that. As soon as that thing leaks, it's getting cut, period.
They didn't do a good job of paving it or leveling it up. They're complaining they don't want people there, so it's like.
So the line is abandoned, but it's still hooked up to the,
Well, it's going to be. It's not yet, because we had to come
Okay.
over here and do it, but it's going, we want to abandon it.
but it's got water right now, I mean, it's got
Yes,
water
sir.
going through it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And in case, so that section of pipe, the past couple of years, we've had a lot of leaks in that area. And that was one of the main goals when we reached out to WTC, was to give us ideas on how to pretty much eliminate that line and add another line on Second Street to continue with the distribution in that aspect, just to kind of get rid of our problem area.
Yeah. I guess, it's just maybe go to the third one. Well, there's a couple of pictures, like, and you know, I just chew on me as much as you want. I'm here to receive your feedback and definitely take that to the contractors and make sure we get it taken care of. Go ahead.
And if I may,
Sure.
and a lot of the reasons behind the open trench and the not paving is because once they do the construction and they've already laid in the lines, we have to still pressure test the line and still get back T samples. So there would be, if say during the construction of it, there's a leak, and if we go in and pave it, then we're gonna have to go dig it back up.
Yes, right.
You know, so the main reason right now is leaving it like that. And so when we do pressure test and we do pass and everything gets passed, then we're able to come in and pave it. That's some of the main reasons you'll see some of the trench still like that, but once it gets passed, we will pave over it.
And our guys are working really close with Mr. Baca about making sure that they put eyes on it, they know where all the connections are, and that they get to look at it before it's buried. The last thing we want to
Is
do.
this all poly, or is it?
PVC.
PVC,
Yes, sir.
that green, that blue or green?
Blue pipe, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you pressure tested with water or?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With
Okay.
water. Yes, sir.
At a certain pressure?
Yeah, around town we're at about 50 to 55. So we just kind of put it above our minimum pressure in town, and then if it passes, then
There's a standard test that TCQ requires, and the contractors are required to do that.
Because you don't want to cover it and then pressure test it and then you got a leak.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Because we do that with pipeline.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you've got miles of pipeline, you don't cover it until you've tested, make sure it's going to hold.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, and there's a process, and they'll come. I mean, this line here is not. That line was made with the backhoe or excavator. They'll saw cut this straight and pack this, water it, pack it again. I mean, when we've been getting density tests on the backfill from third-party Terracon, and they've passed. So that doesn't mean that the top bit, it gets driven over and maybe some moisture, and I'm not saying that, disagreeing with you at all. That needs to be fixed, but I'm telling you, it is backfilled properly. We're making sure of that, and we're making sure that the city puts eyes on it. And then when they come pave this, they'll cut that straight. It'll look nice, and they'll patch it, and it's a trench, and you can see that it was patched, but it won't look like this mess. It'll be done the right way.
I had a question for Mr. De Leon. Maybe a lot of citizens ask me about this when they take their kids to the Austin. They don't know about it. You might want to make a short video and keep them in the know, just something short and say, hey, want to know what's going on, and kind of hit the bullet points that the average citizen out there, they just think that we just tore up a street and left it alone, right? So make an informal training.
Don't worry about it.
A video that says, hey,
Yeah,
let them understand.
Like Odessa and Midland, they announce when they're gonna shut down a street, so that before they even do it, so that you stay away from that area, basically.
Yeah, and I have been, me and Edward, we're in constant communications with the work that's being done around town. It's just like this Monday or Tuesday, I believe, we did another tie-in where there was a section that was closed, that was cut off the water, and I think we sent out notification to the community, let them know like 2 days in advance, hey, from 10 to 1 o'clock, you may have low to no water pressure, stuff like that. So I know we've been, we've been, pretty constant on the repairs, and I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of Chad. So the main tie-ins that we plan on doing in the area, we planned for spring break because we are going to have to cut the water in the area, and we didn't want to affect the school. So that was me reaching out to the school, getting with Chad, getting with the contractor, say, hey, we have a week from the 9th to the 13th, so that is our week to go in there and do the major tie-ins in that area. So.
I'll just say, your system, Michael, it keeps these guys really busy. I mean, for example, there's not always valves that can isolate a section of line, so they need to have to be inserted. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. I mean, we actually having a meeting tomorrow about maybe looking at some modernization of some of the distribution systems. So it's, Michael and his crew, they know the system really, really well, and that's, I think, a lot to do with the fact that they got to baby it a lot, and they really know a lot about it, and they've been really good to work with, to be honest. That's good. Any other questions? And so I will definitely go back and talk about the stuff along Stafford, and I'll mention to them about cleaning the street in a less dusty way, if we can do that, for sure.
Can't you just water it, pack it down at night? I mean, I dodge that area when I take my son because I'm about to get my car washed tomorrow, so I'll probably go in the first entrance, but can't we just water it, just pack it down for now?
They do use water when they pack it. So as far as cleaning the street, I don't know. I'll have to talk to them. They're a good contractor. A lot of times I try not to dictate to them too much about how to do what. I just tell them what they need to do. And it's too dusty, And so I'll definitely visit with them.
I mean, I've seen the street sweepers out there, but it's like it's just stirring up dust instead of picking up any of the dust. Just move it to another location is all it does.
Yeah. No, you're good. I mean, I know you don't dictate, but it's feedback that we're getting. So it's a lot of feedback, like they don't understand it's dusty, just water it down.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, item F14, discuss additional roll-up locations, strategic goal 3, promote the visual image of Pecos, Valerie Trujillo.
So I put this on the agenda for this meeting because Mr. Martinez brought it to our attention at the last meeting. He was kind of questioning is the east side of town going to have the roll-off, and then that week, I think that weekend, it was the east side's turn. So I want to understand the rotation.
They read your mind.
That's perfect. Thank you. Just questioning, just so people understand. And that was a really good question that you brought to my attention because I see them posting it, but it's good to see how y'all rotate.
I've seen it posted on the city website also.
Yeah.
Okay.
In saying that, and something that Councilman Trujillo said, there's only 2 places forever. Is there a purpose why just 2?
Yes, there is.
We kind of maintain it more into the center, so like depending on the location, the site, like if you're in the middle, you can go a little bit out to the outside, or if you're in the outside, a little bit to the inside. For example, the east side, you got one right behind the church, the Catholic church, and the other one's behind, it used to be the old Carter School in the corner. So that's more centralized. But I did come up with some options that I can share with you. You have to consider. That first one would probably be the better one. Every other time that the location is up for the roll-off campaign, we can switch those locations somewhere else that belongs to our right-of-way or city property. I will go out there with Edward and my supervisor. We'll see the location that we could place the containers at.
Perfect.
The other one is separating, but that would take more staff members to watch the containers.
Well, it works great. I use it every time it comes, so I forget about looking at, I don't look at Facebook a lot, but I call Charles, or I call Heather, hey, or Wendy, where is it this time?
And we keep it at the same place that people know already. That's where they show up. We do move them, then some people are really confused, or it's gonna take them a while before they get the hang of it. A lot of people don't look at social media.
Just because it's on the west side or the east side or the north side doesn't mean it's just designated for
side of
those
town.
people. It's anybody can go to any of these, no matter where they're located. to go.
Yes. But if there's something you want to initiate or look into,
Thank you
Maybe
for
more.
this, and it's in color, and it's easy to read. I'm like, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that's
Great.
Edward's
No, I just
book
want
right there.
people to understand, and y'all do a good job of putting it out. If you have more concerns, let us know. Yes,
Can I say
Mr.
something?
Sure.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
In the past 2 years, I've had to rent 2 roll-offs and put on my empty lot, and fills up quickly. What I'm saying is, if you go between 3rd and 2nd Street, that corridor there is nothing but a dump site. All the empty lots there, and I don't know why we don't have code enforcement to go back there and cite those people because they're dumping the stuff on the empty lots. They dump it on my lot. And I've had to rent 2 roll-offs. They're expensive.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to be doing that for people.
Plus
that are
the
responsible.
stuff that they put in there, I get charged extra for that. Now, what we need is a roll-off literally on 2nd Street or 3rd Street. More toward the 10th or 12th block of that area. I know they put one up there by the Catholic Church, somewhere out there. That's not, I don't see a dump sites out there. I don't see the empty lots filling up with stuff. You guys drive down there on 2nd Street and you'll see the lots full of junk. And where is the code enforcement? Where is it? There was a junk car parked right on the side of my street. It took me almost 9 months to have the city come by and remove it. Not until I threatened the code enforcer that is saying, hey, let me talk to your city manager. Lo and behold, and I had 2 or 3 policemen come by and look at it. It took that long for one junkyard to be removed.
Pete,
So,
the
what I'm saying is,
do they
have one up there once in a while and have the city come by and look at it. And then cite the people that have all the junk on their yards through code enforcement. That's what you need. Code enforcement.
That's right.
The roll-offs, we have to put them on city property, correct?
It can't be on private
Yeah,
property.
so that's, we're limited that way too.
I
So we
understand.
have to have city.
I was gonna tell you, hey, I've got the empty lot, put it there. But then, of course, you just told me it has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. Maybe the lawyer can do something about that and put a little exception there.
We can waive his fee for that month that we put it on his property. We can
If we
waive
give the
his fee.
property to the city, then we can put it on the property.
Never mind.
Okay, so we're still working on it, so we'll take these under advisement. But maybe changing the locations would help. I mean, I know people are used to going to a certain location on the 4th month of or whatever, but maybe, I mean, we do enough social media posts that we could change up locations every once in a while. Okay, anything else? Okay, so we do have executive session items. Okay, so at this time,
Mayor,
we're going
can I state something before we go into executive session? Mr. Dutchover, we're getting a lot of critics kind of wanting to see the need for sunlight on the EDC's end. And this is something that, you know, when I think of sunlight, you know, we want to make sure we have transparency. I know we're going to go in executive session and talk about economic development projects inside the city limits. And I don't know if I could save you your breath twice instead of you repeating after what we talked about in exec. But I think it's time that we start bringing a lot of these things into the sunlight. And if we could discuss that here in open session on the updates of the EDC development projects inside the city limits. Is that something we could do?
We can bring
always
it back out
discuss
to
it.
open session.
So,
We'll do it first.
Now, there's certain specific items may be proper for closed session, but general update, yeah, by all means, you're welcome to discuss it.
yeah. That's something we could do before we go in exec, or we got to go in exec. It's going to be a long exec.
Maybe we go to executive first and then we bring it back out.
Decide which ones come out.
Yeah.
Y'all's preference.
I'd like to just knock it out of the park because we have some other bigger issues that we want to, well, not issues, but more things that we need to talk about during exec. And you can kind of give an update on open session.
There's only 2 in here of the 8 that are economic development. I can give you the.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Mayor, Council, Jimmy Dutchor with the Economic Development Corporation. Number 1 is the abatement process for the accountability and sales tax or for the town of Pecos City. Just a quick update. Keep in mind that when y'all do the abatements and it's a project, if it's inside the city limits, approximately 60% of that project is going to be a taxable revenue for you guys. Yeah, when people come in and say, well, they're getting 100% abatement, just look at the size of the project, multiply it times 0.6, and then multiply it times your tax rate, and that'll get you a pretty good idea as to how much you're going to generate for that one project. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Based on what's going to happen with Pecos Power Plant number 1 and 2, we have approximately 450 sea containers that are 10 by 10 by 40 that will be brought inside the town of Pecos City. They're going to be delivering probably anywhere from 4 to 6 of them per day. That's the most that they can move because of the location of where they're coming in, and then actually picking up from a crane, putting it on the flatbeds and bringing them to the plant. With that, those sea containers, and I know that the town of Pecos City has an ordinance for non-use of them for housing, but that's one possibility. We're not talking about 10 years ago when people just wanted them for a shed and then to make a one bedroom efficiency. There are the abilities to look at doing it very creatively. My board had asked, and we discussed this last meeting, the ability to sit down and come back to council and ask them for reconsideration of the use of those sea containers. Not throughout the community, but in the designated area, and Mr. Dino and I have talked about that. So hopefully within the next month or so, we'll come back to you with a plan, because those sea containers start to arrive in March. Guidelines for the signage of the cultural district. The board approved a $10,000 grant that is not 50-50. It's actually a grant for all the businesses downtown based upon input from the Keep Pecos Beautiful project. So this cultural district, we are going to offer any of the businesses in the cultural district up to $10,000 to redo the signage that will meet what the council and what the Keep Pecos Beautiful board wants the theme to be like. So nothing to the homeowner, or nothing to the business owners. It's actually something that the EDC is going to pick up itself. The water park, if it's okay, I'm going to hand this out. It's for y'all to keep. It's actually with regards to the timeline of the Park Hill project. They're moving right along, the county is, to the credit of the board, the commissioner, the judges, Commissioner Moore.
I have the email.
Okay, you have it, okay. So, right now, you can see from the top, there are 6 blocks. They are actually on the 4th block, with an anticipation that that'll be completed within the next few months, and then it'll go straight to the bid and then the construction process. Any questions I may be able to answer there? It is on EDC land. The Economic Development Corporation deeded over a total of 40 acres. A couple of those acres were of the city. They are going to use approximately 15, 16 acres. They're going to have multiple entrances that will actually meet up at the new parking lot that you all have for phase 2 of your Cyclone baseball field. So that will run south and go north, and then it's going to have a circle around. That way, any type of deliveries will end up in the back end of the water park. I would encourage a TIRZ workshop between the council and the EDC with so many of these projects that are on the outer end of the town of Pecos City. The participation is there with regards to the county, the hospital district, ESD1, ESD2, and of course with the town of Pecos City. We have prepared charts internally so we can show you all how it works from no value to where it gets to the very top. At the very top, once a 3-year project build-out is done, the first full year of completion and operation does not start the tax abatement, it's the year after. And the reason for it is for every one of the taxing entities to try and recoup some of the money at its highest rate so that you're not given a full 100% abatement. And when Mr. Lino and I have evaluated some of the projects, even though it's 100% abatement, it lowers down to about 45 to 55%. And in one case, I think we got it to 42%. So now that's all the different taxing entities. It's just not the city. I mean, so the cities may be a little bit different versus the hospital district. Any questions there? And I don't know what timeline y'all would like to do that so that we can do it in a workshop, because it's very complicated to understand what to do. But this is the first year in which those TIRZs are not being funded. Correct? Okay. So that's it. The other 2 are executive session items.
So I got a question. So on that TIRZ,
yes, sir.
With that, if we're being funded now, then we would need to have the workshop here within the next few weeks to make sure we're all in the same wavelength of what we're going to do with it.
The TIRZ board would have to be to determine.
It is still the board that needs to convene and request that the meeting be held. Mr. Lino and I are just the ex officio members to explain to you all how the process would work.
So the workshop would be for us so that we can understand it.
The first part is for the town of Pecos City, because y'all are the lead agency. It is inside the town of Pecos City. So y'all are going to, the board is going to recommend to the council as to what they think the project should be and how, if any, indebtedness should occur. It's not anybody else that would do that. So you have board members, and then you have representatives of each of those taxing entities that are providing those funds to you to help speed up the process of things that happen inside a certain zone. And people may think, well, wait a minute, how come the zone isn't on the east side of town? Why is it not in a residential park? You can only limit a small portion of property that encompasses residential property. It is designed to help with the industrial and the commercial component of what goes on. It's like its own HOA. It's what it basically comes out to be.
In this first year, the incremental value that's going to go into the TIRZ is minuscule because there's not been a lot of development. Over the next few years is when we're going to see significant dollars coming into the TIRZ at the full tax rate, because they established the baseline on January 1st, 2025. So any incremental value within the TIRZ zones that happens between January 2025 and each subsequent year, all of that money is going to go into the TIRZ until they start receiving, until they start receiving the abatement 1 year after they're fully functional. So we should we should see a significant amount of money coming into the TERS that could be redistributed into those areas for infrastructure, for streets, for everything else that the TERS will pay for. And the main benefit that you're going to see from that is it lessens the burden on the taxpayer and lets the businesses that are developing that pay for all of that infrastructure, so it's not falling back on the citizens.
And so the items that you already have budgeted, if I can take that one step further, the items that you have budgeted for the entire town of Pecos City are not going to be necessary because you're going to be able to depend upon the TERS dollars. And basically, it's a up to 40 years, or well, 33 I think are left on it. So it's about 33 years that are left on it, 32 now. And one other item, Mr. Lino touched upon the fact of the sale of the land for the hospital. We anticipate a 10-day turnaround to take that acreage between Annex number 2 and the West Texas Community Credit Union. It should be in the hands of the hospital district. The revenue that we are being paid for that will just be put in an escrow account, just in an account dedicated for you guys as to when y'all decide what you're going to do for the police station. And then we will transfer the land from the existing police station into what would be phase 2 of the Hidden Hero project for the housing. And then if you see the maintainers, the scraping, the dirt over west of the Texan, that property is already being cleaned up. So there's approximately 12 acres. The demolition of the old road and bridge will soon take place, and the owners, or the projected owners, prospective owners, they have until June the 30th to close on the property. So the construction in that commercial part will take place.
When will you be able to talk about the NDA project that we talked about in that special meeting to the public?
It's an anticipated June or July. Mainly, Mr. Carrasco, there's multiple parts in it. It's just not the EDC. And I've had the request from Cassie, who has asked me how those NDAs work and what those timelines are. Really, we don't initiate them. It is the NDAs are initiated by the groups that come in. As we share information with, of course, the city council first, that's when you all sign your NDA so that we can disclose or we can discuss those issues. And then, if it's going to involve any of the other taxing entities, they have to sit down and disclose theirs. And right when we do a property sale, and once they're ready to announce, it's up to theirs, and then typically those NDAs cease to exist. And it's up to the public, if they want to get any more information, it's up to them to sit down and go and talk directly to those individuals, not to us. Unfortunately, I would love to sit down and tell everybody what we're doing and what's going on. That's just not the way those companies are allowing us to operate. So we still have a few more months to go.
Who calls the special meetings? I mean, it seems like they're calling special meetings and we're rushing to appease the investor. And we're on their time instead of them being on our time.
I would disagree with that statement, Mr. Carrasco. It wasn't so much that they were calling the meetings, it was that we weren't able to have a total quorum of the city, or that they were asking for certain things that were time sensitive based upon that meeting that didn't take place. It was just a domino effect. It wasn't anything that we were trying to do to call one after another.
Well, it sure did feel like it. I mean, when we were in Alice, we were gonna talk about it, and then we came back, and now we're rushing to do it, and there's a lot of speculation out in the community what we're trying to do, what they're gonna do. I mean, there's so much you can really talk about, and then they're asking us, and I mean, did you guys make a sale? Is that what this whole point was
Yes.
to make a sale?
Yes.
So it seems to us that the deeds went back and forth. At one point, the city had it, the EDC had it. Are you guys gonna throw a bone to the city on this sale that y'all made to help us out do some projects?
We did. We actually had a project that was going to be of significant size outside the city limits, and we encouraged an investor to put it inside the city limits so that the town of Pecos City could significantly reap the rewards of not only the ad valorem, but the sales tax.
What about the profit the EDC make? Are you guys gonna help share some of the burdens the city faces, help us with some projects out of that money?
You could ask the board. I can't speak for them.
no further questions.
Okay, so we're going to go to executive session. Under Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney, 551.072, real estate, 551.074, personnel issues, and 551.087, economic development, and it is 7:50 p.m. back in open session, and it is 8:28 PM. Is there anything from executive session to be brought in open session?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Items for the next city council meeting, I've got the MOU for the pool, or the interlocal agreement. I've got F9, the tax abatement discussion, and F12, the committee of applications. And then in executive session, we've got the evaluations. Anything else for the next meeting?
The stripes at the post office?
Oh, yeah.
We can take care of that. I mean, do you want to talk
Yeah,
to
please,
today,
yeah.
or can we take care of it?
If you can
Take
fix it.
care of
having to go
it tomorrow.
Get it done.
Is there a
I'll
way
get you
to
a paintbrush.
change the whole layout and the flow of traffic there? Like maybe, I don't know, it's wild. Like,
It is, sir. I
Like a
would agree.
one-way, I don't know if that's even, I don't know.
That's not really the same.
Okay, we can discuss it.
Yes, ma'am.
It's dangerous.
It is.
Anything else for next city council meetings? Okay, then we are adjourned, and it is 8:30 PM.